I always say in my videos that what is gonna make you fluent in English is committing yourself to study. But maybe you're already doing that. You study a lot, but you can't see real progress. And this may be happening because you are using ineffective strategies. Studying with the wrong method won't lead you to fluency. So today I'm going to talk about 5 popular but useless strategies that you should avoid in 2026. Hello friends, welcome to your Christian Productivity channel. I am Luciana Sampaio. If your book looks like a rainbow, we have a problem. Highlighting too much puts your brain on autopilot. Coloring is not the same as processing information. And I say this from a personal experience. Let me tell you how I used to study the Bible last year. Basically, I would read the Bible chapter and then I would highlight everything that I thought it was really important. But as you already know, the Bible is a pretty amazing book, so there's a lot of things to highlight in it, right? And in the intent of making myself remember what I was reading, I used to highlight the parts of the Bible with different colors, and this strategy is called color coding. This means that one color is related to one subject, meanwhile the other color, like green, can be related to things that you are learning, or pink can be related to a story, gray can be related to something bad. That's how I am using right now. But as you notice, the colors mean something. It's related to one subject. And it really works because when I used to use in the right way, basically I was able to remember the color of my note. And not only that, but where it was in the Bible and the subject. It was very good for my memory. But then I couldn't use the strategy anymore because I was highlighting the entire Bible, and that wasn't working for me. Because the right way to use this strategy is to mark what is truly important. For this to actually work, you can use 2 different strategies. Let me talk with you about them right now. The first one is to read the content twice. This means that in the first time that you are reading the chapter, you're not gonna highlight anything, you're just gonna read. But then in the second time, you allow yourself to highlight the things that you think is important. So you're only gonna mark your Bible or the material that you're using to learn English, you're only gonna highlight when you're reading for the second time, because you know that that is really important. Another simple option is to write one question in the margin, such as, what is the main idea? Why is this important? How does this connect to what I already know? Questions often make your brain works much more than just highlighting things. So try to use this strategy. Another classic mistake is making beautiful summaries, but you are copying almost everything from the material, and that is not right. And here I'm not just talking about copying and pasting, I'm also talking about typing. I know that you're probably thinking, Luciana, but I love learning in an online and digital way. Why you are talking about this? Why you are making this a bad thing for me? Well, let me explain it to you. I love to study in a digital way, honestly. And recently I got the news that in my college it's not allowed to go to the class with your laptop. I was basically like, how am I gonna study if I'm not gonna use the laptop? This is absolutely insane. So I'll have to buy a notebook and a pen, and that's it. I need to study by using only those 2 things. And this is absolutely insane for us because we are used to study by using technology. We are used to study by using digital things, right? But the thing is that when you are copying and pasting or typing in your laptop, the brain retains less information because typing is very fast and allows literal transcription. So as I said before, you can start copying word by word and that's it. You're not actually studying because you are passively studying, and that's not good. On the other hand, handwriting is slower and forces your brain to synthesize and rephrase. You need to process and summarize the information in your own words to keep up. This effort of elaboration helps consolidate learning. But then many people think that they need to find the text online and then copy it by hand, but that's not enough. That's not good. Of course that your notebook will look beautiful, but your memory will maintain empty. Because once again, it's a passive way of studying. You are not actually studying actively. The ideal approach is to write by hand actively, meaning you structure the sentence yourself and put them on paper. There's no point in simply translating everything to English and then copying it into your notebook. Push yourself to create something on your own, and of course, After doing that, correct using AI. That way you make sure everything is written correctly. Another great strategy is to study a piece of the material and then try to make a mind map from memory, recalling the main topic and connections between them. You need to do this without opening the content again, because you need to try to force your mind to remember everything. If you get stuck, great. That's when learning actually begins. I need you to be honest with me, and please put it in the comments. Are you watching this video in the normal speed, or did you speed it up to save time? Watching everything at 2x speed or using AI generated summary just to cover the content is a big mistake. The brain needs time for memory encoding. Excessive speed prevents the formation of deep neural connections. You hear the words, but you don't process them. And I'm not saying this tip only for you, it's for me as well. Ever since this idea of speeding up everything became popular, I can't watch anything in normal speed. It's absolutely crazy. And the more we try to save time by watching a lot of contents and in a record time, the more confused our brains becomes. Because in the end of the day, maybe you already watch 5 videos here on YouTube of how to start improving your English. And all those videos were like in 2x speed. And you can't even tell me what was the last tip that I gave you in this video. You don't remember because it's a really fast content. Your brain don't understand this. It's as if we're just trying to fill the silence, and in the end everything turns into noise because you didn't really learn anything. Commit to listen to English content at normal speed whenever you study. And after you're done watching, try to stop a little bit for at least 5 minutes and ask yourself, what was the main idea the teacher just explained to me? Give your brain time to process what you're studying. E para você que chegou até essa parte do vídeo, tem uma boa notícia. Ao acessar o primeiro link da descrição e aplicar o cupom GO20, você terá 20% de desconto no meu mini curso com aulas para desenvolver a sua fala no inglês. E assim você vai conseguir ter a fluidez que eu tenho hoje. O acesso é vitalício, então conforme for adicionando novas aulas, você continua tendo acesso. Aproveite! I'm always saying in my channel that you should study by using materials that you love. That's how I learned when I started following YouTube channels that I really loved or listening to songs that were pleasurable for me. But we call this as passive learning. To really learn English, you need to also start using active learning. And I'm sorry to tell you, but this is uncomfortable. When I started facing my biggest difficulties, speaking and writing, studying with materials I loved was not enough because many times studying was exhausting. For example, even today, I still train my writing in English, and it's absolutely horrible for me because I don't like doing this. It's so boring. I struggle a lot, but I understand that when studying is something easy and comfortable, it means that I'm not learning. Real learning happens in cognitive discomfort when you force your brain to retrieve information. When you make mistakes, get stuck, think, and try again. Stop thinking that you will find here on YouTube a magical way where you're gonna learn English in a comfortable way. No, you need to face discomfort because progress comes from discomfort. Talvez um dos motivos pelos quais você está preso no nível C1 ou C2 do inglês, por exemplo, é porque você está estudando de uma forma totalmente passiva. Então, se você quiser entender mais sobre esse assunto e como evoluir no seu nível do inglês, você pode conferir esse vídeo. I see you in the next one, and remember, you are loved. Bye!